Welcome back to another Sunday evening live here. Just gonna get the fire going down here. Got my instant fire cup in there. Get that lit. Get this fire going. Now it's getting pretty dark this time of year. See where we're at. Sorry, getting all adjusted here. There. I want you to see the fire in the background. So, hope everybody's doing well. Just gotta get up a beer here. So, like I have in the title, I have a guest tonight. When he joins me, I'll introduce you. For now, well, other than a dark evening, we've got a beautiful evening tonight. We're about 70 degrees, very nice temperature. Of course, the mosquitoes just started coming out, but maybe once the fire goes or starts going, it'll help with that. Got myself the Golden Pheasant beer. My buddy Sven, when he was over, dropped this off, and thought I'd enjoy it tonight. Thank you, Sven, for this. My table's a little lopsided here too. See if I can straighten that out. There we go. There. Now I think we're all set. Let's pour a drink. Beautiful. So September 21st today, first day of fall. Seemed like summer went by so fast. Wow, that's a good tasting beer. Evenite Baskin. Hi. Hi. Boy, it doesn't take long for that fire to get going. So nice and so much light. Like, just looks so nice in the dark like that. Something about a live fire. It was gusty, kind of windy today, and then we had rain off and on, which it may rain as we're sitting here. I don't know. I'm just under my overhang here. I got a gazebo above me. Excuse me. But it's got a steel roof, so if it starts raining, you'll know it because it makes pretty good noise when the raindrops hit that steel roof. I'm an old guy. So, let's see. Like I say, you're going to talk first day of fall coming. Today was kind of a reminder. I put a ham on the barbecue today, which the video will come out for that one. Just a beautiful slow smoke on the Kamado grill. Probably the best ham I've ever done. That's a good beer. Mohammed, I'm thinking you're saying hi. Hello there. Yeah, so same thing again. I don't know what that translates to. I'm sorry. I'm guessing it's hello. Are you stay at 6 a.m.? It's actually 8 p.m. where I'm at, so it's nighttime or early evening. Not sure where you're chatting from or where you're at, but yeah, 8 p.m. here. Okay, I'll send you I get the Sunday dinner chefs joining me. If you just give me a moment, I gotta send them the link here again. Oops. Hopefully that did it. Technical issues, you know. So, like I said in the title, I got Mr. Tom Garvey, the Sunday dinner chef, joining me, and we're just trying to work out some technical difficulties here. And hopefully, he'll be joining me. Just had to send him a link there in case there was a little break in the video at your end. I'm sorry, Mohammed. The text you're using is a different language, and I don't know how to read it. Behind me, the fire behind me. One week I was doing this, and there was a skunk behind me. Somebody on the live was pointing it out. Is walking right behind me. That was kind of funny. You never know what's going to happen in a live. So again, sit back, enjoy the beer, enjoy the fire here. Look at that go now. Starting to feel it here. I'm probably about 8 feet away here, and I feel that warmth. Just going to check my email here, make sure everything got sent to Tom okay. Maybe I sent the wrong email or the wrong link again or something. You can just excuse me one more time. I'm going to try to send Tom that link. Maybe I did something wrong here. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe this is how I There. Maybe that was how to do it. I don't know. Don't normally send it once I'm live, so a lot of little things to remember. You know, every time I do this, it's a little bit different. So Liz is saying Muhammad is saying hello from Iran. I hope I got that right. Hello, Muhammad from Iran. I love it that you're seeing me from way across the world like that. And the Sunday dinner chef, it won't let me in. Okay. I did send the link again because maybe I didn't send it right. If you could please try that one, see what happens. Sorry, Tom. I'm not a real technical person, but I know we got together before. We could do this. Oh, and the tavern's here, Tavern 53. Mr. Wayne, good evening. Cheers, Wayne. I join Wayne quite often on his channel, the Tavern 53, and we always do some nice chats, enjoy a nice beer. And Eve Night Baskin, how old are you? I'm an old man, I said. Oh, I believe Tom made it. Click Dad. There he is. All right.
From the first time I tried it, it just kicked me off.
Oh, really, eh?
Yeah. I don't know what's going on.
All these technical difficulties, unless you do it all the time, you know, it's like click this just right. I don't know.
I normally go on, you know, I have EV Mux that I use, and just everything just clicks right away. This is the first time because this only lets you do it on your phone.
Oh, right. Yes. I should have given you a heads up over that. Yeah.
It threw me into a
I have to use my phone actually to do it. Yeah.
It's okay though. Well, who said you can't teach an old man a new trick? You know what I mean?
Oh, I know. We got to keep ourselves young that way, just learning this new stuff.
Greg, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good. For everybody who's watching now, this is Mr. Tom Garvey, all the way from Las Vegas, the Sunday dinner chef. And I believe I'm interrupting your dinner time. I mean, it's 8 p.m. here, but
no, you know what? We actually on Sunday we usually eat early. So,
yeah.
But today what I did was I started out. I was sent I can't say nothing yet about it, but I was sent a new type of grill.
Okay.
And it brought me right back to the restaurant days. I tell you, that's how good it is.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah. And what I'm going to do, Greg, is I'm going to recommend them to reach out to you also.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Offline. I'll tell you something, you know, about it and stuff like that. But
Sure. Yeah,
I'm not at liberty to say anything right now until.
I'll wait for the big unveiling on your channel there.
Yeah. Unbelievable. Oh man, how's the weather?
Oh, it's, you know, first day of fall today, but it is beautiful. It's like 70 degrees out right now. And I'm feeling the warmth from the fire behind me. It's just beautiful.
Yeah, almost like the cooker I got today. Give you a little
drop
hint.
these little hints, eh?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's been it's still in the 90s here.
Yeah.
But nowhere near what it was. I mean, it was just kind of crazy. But on this channel here, what I'm doing is I am getting ready for the fall. You know, because out here it changes. It's like a light switch.
Really?
You know, back in April 14th, I'll never forget it. It went from the day before it was 60 some degrees. April 14th, it went to 114 degrees. It was insane. Yeah, it's been like that, you know, throughout the whole summer. So
that's a huge swing.
Yeah. So what you been cooking there, partner?
Well, actually today I smoked a ham on the Kamado. And
okay.
I'm telling you, I did a video on it and I kind of explained what I was doing, but no, you know, those small cured hams are already vacuum sealed. and they're pretty much ready to eat. Normally, I'll warm that up to around 140 or so, but doing it on the Kamado, a lot of humidity in the unit, not a lot of airflow, but so I got a nice smoke flavor, and I brought it past all the way up to like 165. I'm telling you, I went to the point where it started to render some of the fat on the inside. It was so tender. It was like the perfect temperature to pull that off at.
I used to do a lot of almost like pulled pork type of stuff. We would take the hams. I would get the whole ham in the restaurant, get the whole ham and just put it into a slow cooker, and cook it at like 220, okay, and then hold it at 160 or 140. All right, and then when I go to take it out, I mean, you take the bone, pull the bone right out of it.
Yeah.
And I went, oh no, I overcooked it. But then with some little bit of barbecue sauce in it, it was a big hit. It really was. So yeah, I
last week I did a pork blade roast, similar, 225 degrees, and I let that thing go for about 12 hours. I didn't do it on video, but the meat was so tender. There's something to this low and slow,
Yeah, exactly. And the funny part about it is, everybody says, well, it's already smoked. Why'd you put it in the smoker and this and that? Well, it's not smoked traditionally like it used to be. Okay.
Right.
It's all injected, salt cured, basically. And they don't keep it, they don't keep it in a brine. They usually inject it and then into a smoker, maybe 8 hours, and that's it. Take it out, pack it, and it's ready to go, But to do a true, like a pork roast or something like that, put that in and smoke it for probably 15 or 20 hours.
Right.
And you'll get to that pulled pork with it. I mean, it's nothing better. I'm sorry, really nothing better.
I'm kind of anxious to do a brisket kind of the same way, really low and slow for many hours. Yeah. Normally I do them in like 8-10 hours, but I think I'll do an overnight and into the next day, maybe a 16 to 20 hour cook. Try something like that next time.
More smoke to it, I would imagine, is what you would be looking for.
Right. And I'm thinking the Kamado's the perfect grill for it, where the pellet grill, I get a lot of airflow. So it tends to dry out the outside a little bit, but I can control that humidity much better in the Kamado.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a learning curve over time,
Yeah, I had a seafood restaurant and steaks and seafood, and we did a lot of lobster and prime ribs and stuff like that. But we had these slow cookers called Alto Shams. It was a big box. It's probably about 6.5 feet, and it had controls on it. You can actually hold stuff at like 130 degrees. So we would cook the prime ribs. We probably do 10 or 15 prime ribs in this box overnight. We cook them at 225, and then hold them, at 140.
Wow, that's perfect.
Just and then pull them out and slice them up that way. So I got to thinking. I said, you know what? I'm going to hang some baby back ribs in that. And we hung the baby. Matter of fact, when we did it, I opened the door and I went, oh no, I got a mess. They pulled away from the bone because we were hanging them.
Right.
And they all fell to the bottom, but they were, unbelievable. Really good. Oh. That was a pretty good machine. And even I would put a little bit of chips in the bottom because we had such good ventilation in the kitchen itself. Put a little bit of chips in there and smoke them a little bit. Couldn't do it too much because the smoke alarms would go off, so.
Right.
But I've been playing with this stuff for 30 years, and I can't stop doing it. I mean, I'm just,
every time you move, it looks like you're in a different cooking situation, and even what you have now, you're adapting to that.
Yep, I do. I have this channel right here. This brings me back to the restaurant days, a little nostalgic and stuff like that. And I'll pick like this in the fall now. What I'm doing is I'm doing soups, stews, and sauces. Okay. And I mean, that just triggered me to get right into it again. You know what I mean?
Right.
Making soups and stuff like that. I like to do it from scratch. That's the way I was taught, trying to keep my mind sharp. I just found a place out here where I can buy actually beef bones, beef marrow bones.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's going to be in the next couple of videos. I'm going to be making some stocks, some demi-glace and stuff like that. Buy a couple old chickens, get a couple old hens, a rooster, and cook them down, put the meat away, save the meat. You always use that for something. But then the whole idea is to get it get back to nature again, as far as nothing from a can, nothing from a box.
Right.
Make my own stocks and
Well,
stuff.
we recently started doing that. I mean, my lovely wife, she's more into the soups than that, and learned from her mother, and great cooks. But
yeah,
I know when you render your own stock and it turns to gel at room temperature, you got something fantastic.
exactly. And then
no
you
comparison.
and you can move on from there, and it gives you a good feeling anyway. I mean, I like to cook, so that's basically what it is. My whole point is, between both channels, between the keto channel and this channel, trying to get more younger people to cook.
Right. Right.
Here I am, an old fart, okay? And you look at my analytics and stuff, and it's all young people from 25 to 34 years old.
Well, the way I look at it, one of the biggest hit to someone's budget is food. And if you learn to cook, you're going to save yourself a ton of money.
Yeah.
And follow what you're doing. Like, you cook maybe a chicken, use the meat one meal, the bones for stock for another meal. Like, you could really stretch out a chicken,
Oh yeah. Even when I I just put one out about chicken thighs. Okay, I'm a firm believer in leave the skin on, bone in. All right, and I'll take that chicken thigh and I'll cut it up, and it'll look just like the flat of a chicken wing.
I've seen you do that. Yeah.
I'll roast that thing up, and I tell you what, I'll put them out. The grandkids, they love chicken wings, but whoa, Pop, these are really good. So,
actually, ever since I saw you do that, I'm like, oh, I got to do that and put it right on the grill one day and grill it like I would a chicken wing,
Yeah, it really worked out. Really worked out good. There again, I'd say play with your food is basically what it is. So, I've been. Go ahead, Greg. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you were talking soups, but I saw your most recent video where you sliced those tomatoes and you put them in the oven with the pieces of sausage on the side, a little sprinkle of sugar on there.
Yep.
That really got me thinking about different ways to get a soup going,
Yeah, I mean, and I did it with homemade sausage, and lo and behold, as I was making the sausage, my grinder broke. Just as I got done, I said, if I didn't have bad luck, I wouldn't have any luck at all. But
well, it broke at the end of the making of it, so
yeah, exactly. So my wife says to me, "What are you going to do the next time?" I says, "I don't know. I'm going to have to figure something out." But making soups, especially in the colder weather, it gets cold here. We'll get maybe a week or 2 weeks below zero. Not long, 32 degrees or whatever. But it's the wind and stuff out here is like coming off the desert. So nothing like a good hearty bowl of soup, And my whole point is make it your own way. Take a recipe book and throw it out the window.
Right.
And just start using your own head and how to put all this stuff together, especially with stews and stuff. Wow. Making your own stocks and stuff like that. You can really turn out some good grub.
Yeah. But watching someone like yourself, it also gives you different ideas or helping you think outside the box. Like I see you use bok choy a lot. That's something we don't use a lot. Things like that. Brussels sprouts in your most recent video. Man, good way to get the kids to eat it. Mix a little bacon in there.
Yeah, I said, boy, they're going to throw me off YouTube, but why not?
Yeah.
Why not? Matter of fact, I just said just before I come on, I had some guys left a message, a comment, and said, "I have never thought of that."
Yeah, exactly. So you're throwing these ideas out there. Maybe it's something common that you would think of, but I mean, it helps out people like myself, you know. The way you throw the olive oil and the butter in the pan before you sear something, like things like that. And, you know.
I caught a rash of hell from, I don't know if the guy was a professional or not, about why I seasoned the pan. Okay.
Yeah.
And I said, well, you know, you can do what you want. I mean, well, that's going to burn. It's all going to burn. I said, well, first of all, you don't use the butter and olive oil at the highest temperature.
Right.
The last thing you want to do is bring it to that high smoke point. So you just want to get it hot so the butter melts, and all of a sudden you start seeing the water evaporating from the butter. Olive oil's in there so the butter doesn't burn.
Mm-hmm.
I watch people, when you season something, especially in a rush where I came from, okay, we're doing, 200, 300, 400 covers a night. So you had to make sure everything was even. So I started seasoning the pan. And then when you move them around a little bit, you see everything was evenly coated on it. And if it needed a little bit more, and then you just go from there. But, you don't season it right. And it's okay, all right. I'm not going to argue with nobody. So,
well, if you're just joining in here in the live, I'm talking to Mr. Tom Garvey, the Sunday dinner chef, and we're just talking food. So that's what's going on.
Nothing like it. Nothing like it.
Yep.
Greg, how many?
When you season the pan like that, in one of my cooks, I took a piece of swordfish. I seasoned the pan with olive oil, butter, put that in there. And to me, that's what stays in my mind now when I think of when you're seasoning the pan. Just delicious.
Yeah. I mean, it gives it such an even cook. Besides, if I have back in the day, I couldn't do it again. I told my wife, I said, maybe one night I'd like to go into a restaurant. I had the opportunity out here to do that. And I said, you know what? I try to be a realist as far as the legs don't stand too much anymore, So, but I always wanted to get back in and do it just for a night, one more time.
Right.
And I said, no, I can't do it no more. Cause that ship sailed and probably sunk. But I mean, what I'm doing here at my house and stuff, I totally enjoy it. I just totally enjoy it. I don't worry about an algorithm. I don't worry about who watches it, who don't watch. I just want to put them out there. And, here's what it is. Somebody asked me not too long ago, have you ever made a sauce from eggplant? Yeah, go to this video and you'll see me do that. Yeah. So, I mean, that's where I'm at right now, with my YouTube career.
Right. Yeah. Hey, but it's not like a job when you're just doing what you love to do, and you're just sharing what you love to do. And I mean, that's the part I enjoy myself. I'm not worried about, whether I'm going to get revenue from this video or that video. I just let's go out there. If I like doing it, there's a million other people that like doing it. So
exactly. I had a friend of mine that I met on YouTube. We became pretty close friends, and he said, I had said to him, I got to get that 8 to 10 minute video up there. And he said, Tom, why are you doing that? Why? If you're showing somebody, or if somebody wants to learn how to do that, right, you're cheating them. You're cheating them by editing real stuff out. Okay. Yeah. And no, do the whole thing. And that made a lot of sense. And then the channel started picking up again, actually both of the channels. I have 4 channels, but one it's Fire, Cook, Eat, Repeat. That I'm slowly putting together. I'm going to do a cookbook, but I'm going to do I guess a virtual, type of cookbook and stuff like that. So that's still cool. Stuff playing. Yeah, that stuff's playing right there. Now I got to ask you a question.
What's that?
How many pits do you have?
Don't tell my wife I have 7, but I'll tell you, I got another one coming this week.
Oh no, good.
I just bought another grill. You know, but half part of the fun I have is I get a new grill in. Of course, it's going to have different features than another grill, but but assembling the grill, first firing up the grill, discovering how it works, and then doing a few
Mhm.
cooks on it. Like to me, it's kind of stimulates me to, oh, I want to share this.
Yeah, but you know what, Greg? You put out great food too. I mean, you roll your way, and it always comes out really well. And I enjoy watching people who enjoy cooking. You know what I mean? Not just to slap something together, or we're going to sit here and watch this thing. No, you actually get into it, and I appreciate that.
I
Um,
try to explain all the steps, because I find, why did you do that? Or why this temperature? Why. And
yeah,
believe me, there's a lot of things I find. Well, is it really marginally better, or you know, if you do it this way or that way? Like I like to discover on my own as well.
yeah.
Like today
I
with
did.
that ham,
Again,
just bringing it up to that slightly higher temperature to get that fat to render a little more. Things like that.
yeah. I mean, Monument Grills. I did a cook for them out here, and at the convention center here, and it went well. But I tell you what, we put out a lot of food. And we were doing steaks. We were doing Wagyu skirt steaks, and cutting them up. And I made a cowboy butter and stuff. And we had a couple of the chefs coming in and out with it. But at the end of the day, they turned around and said to me, "Do you want this grill that we used here today?" He had two of them. He said, "I want you to take that biggest grill you got." So I don't want that. It's too damn big for me.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah,
I said, I want that little one. Because in the back of my mind, that little one, okay, the G22, I could take that and I could do my vegetables. I roast my peppers in there, all stuff for the future that I can't really do inside the house.
right.
So I can fire that grill up as hot as I can get it. And I tell you what, that little joker got almost 725. That little grill, and
Yeah,
roasting them peppers and tomatoes and stuff like that to make sauces. And they looked at me like I was nuts. You don't want this big grill? It's got the sear stations on it. I have no use for it, really don't. But this is the one I want. Okay. Shipped it out.
but like I say, if that small grill works for you, there's a million other people that small grill's gonna work for. And
Yeah.
you're out there using it, and why not? You know,
I, I turn around and tell people, get used to what you when you buy a grill. Okay. Understand what you want that for. Okay. If you're going to just do hamburgers and hot dogs, that little one I got is perfect for that. But if you're going to get into some nice dinners and have people coming over and sitting down, you can roast some corn and all these different vegetables and cook salmon and shrimp and lobster. Then you need that big one. All right.
yeah,
But to use it as a utility, make sure you understand, what you really need. Because a lot of times people will buy something, especially a grill like that, and use it 3 or 4 times, and that's it, no more.
yeah. No, you'll get some use out of that for sure. Now that the
Oh yeah,
temperature's cooled down a little bit.
yeah. I we was talking to a couple of the guys the other night, and I said I've never used a pellet grill ever. Never had the opportunity to use a pellet grill. I have to give it a shot, but do I want one? No, I don't. Because you know, I don't really need it. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but being that Mr. Greg has 7 of them, I'm sure you got a pellet grill.
I only have 2 pellet grills, and one more
Oh,
on the way.
okay.
No, but the pellet grill's the perfect after work kind of come home, push the start button, set your temperature, get some stuff ready. You know, it really is a great grill to grill
Yeah.
up something easy dinner. And efficient. All your heat's from the burning pellets.
Yeah. And matter of fact, I had an opportunity with another company to get a pellet pizza oven.
Oh yeah, yeah. I've seen those and they work really well.
but I have no use for exactly where I live and stuff. And I'd rather have the gas grill for that. Okay, because in and out, this beast I got today or yesterday I got, and I'm doing these videos on, unbelievable. And this is what I'm used to from back in the day. So
Right.
it's like wishing that you had a Lamborghini, and all of a sudden they send you a Lamborghini.
Oh, really?
You know
Nice.
what I mean? So yeah, I don't know. I'm intrigued with watching different people. There's a gentleman that I watch. Boy, if I can remember the name of it right now, he does oven cooking. He's got an outdoor oven,
Okay.
brick oven, and he does everything from soups to desserts inside this oven. It's a real calm, relaxed atmosphere that he does, and he cooks just about everything. But he's in his element because he actually built this thing himself, and he cooks just about everything you can think of in it. So I was kind of intrigued with that, and I like watching that because not only is it common, I don't know everything. You know what I mean? Not at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah. Exactly.
And it just gets me my wheels turning, about it and stuff like that. I told my wife, this stuff keeps up, but we're moving.
Yeah. I debated on getting a pizza oven style. You know how the dome has your food cooking from the top.
Mm-hmm.
Just such a different way because mostly everything we cook on heats from the bottom.
Yeah.
So
So
yeah.
I'm gonna let a little bit more out. This thing that I got is actually a broiler type of oven
Okay.
or
Okay.
or grill. Okay.
That everything's
Uh,
coming out here.
and I'm
Yeah.
telling you what, I am so glad. I'm so glad they sent me. I go through my emails a lot, and there's a lot of things that they want to send me out to use and stuff like that. I don't have the room for half of it. Number one, and some of the stuff that, I really don't. Send it to somebody else. You know what I mean? Send it
Yeah.
to a younger person or whatever else and that. But this thing, when I seen it, I said, "Oh, this is going to change things about how I used to cook."
Right.
So, but yeah, it really worked well. Nice ribeye and some shrimp I did in it today.
Nice.
That's
Oh,
all I'm
that sounds
saying. I ain't
good.
saying no more.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. I get the odd email too, to try this product or try. And the thing is, the strings attached. I want to know if I like the product before I even talk about it or promote it. Unless they're willing to send it to me, then I don't want to be involved.
yeah,
I'll
exactly.
give an honest review. I don't want to recommend something that I don't like.
Right. And it's exactly how I am. I mean, I have people want to send me out rubs and stuff like that. I don't do a lot of these companies and a lot of these different people. They don't understand what my channels are about. Okay, the keto channel is I'm a type 2 diabetic, so I got to be very careful about high carbs and high sugars. So a lot of these different barbecue rubs and sauces and stuff are really high in sugars. So I got to tap dance around that. Okay, all right, I'm going to put out this video using this sauce, but in the same time, I'll have a major headache, feel like crap, and there's no sense me even trying with it. You know what I mean?
Right.
This channel, the Sunday Dinner Chef, is more nostalgic, more of things that I used to do, stuff that I miss. Okay, I do make bread, I do make homemade pastas and stuff, but some people say, "Well, you're a type 2 diabetic. What are you eating that stuff for?" I make a little bit, and my wife eats it because there's nothing wrong with her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'll have a little bit of pasta and stuff like that. I walk the plank every once in a while with that kind of stuff. But I'm trying to show people how easy it is. You can get restaurant quality food in your own home. You
Right.
know, and
I would hope that you're encouraging others to prep that Sunday dinner, get the family together. It's
I didn't understand. You broke up, Greg. I didn't hear you.
Oh, sorry. I would like to think that the Sunday dinner, you're bringing back. Hey, try to cook this. Get your family together, have dinner together.
Yeah,
At least have that one meal
that
together.
was Yeah, we used to on Sundays was our calm day. We would open from lunch until 10 o'clock or 9 o'clock, and then what we would do is we would turn around and make it all family style. So we had quite a few tables of 10. So that we would do is a couple families would come together and sit down, and we would give them like a prime rib dinner and something like that for like maybe $28, $29, for the table. Okay.
Right.
And that back then that was kind of high back then, but in the same token, brought people together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. I imagine you had a lot of repeat people too.
Yeah.
Come in and yeah.
We did a lot of seafood. We did the lobster, shrimp, clams, mussels, oysters, flounder, all different types of fishes and stuff like that. But the lobster, I would get 200 pounds delivered daily.
Wow.
And by 8:30, 9 o'clock at night, sold out. So it was a hustle bustle, very busy place.
Yeah.
But it actually humbled me a little bit because seeing these people come in, and I have people come back and say to me, "I didn't care for that, Tom. That one didn't. I didn't particularly care for that."
Oh, really?
Oh yeah. Every once in a while they would come back, and glad we tried to change things up, because most of the time you go to a restaurant, it's a standard menu.
Right.
They don't deviate unless I got a deal on, like some veal or whatever, some pork, and that would be the special. We'd make that into the special. But most of the time, our menu was seafood, beef, pork, chicken. That was it. So we would mix different combinations and stuff like that. But it was a busy place. It really was. Really, really was. That's what I try to keep going. That's what I try to keep going in my life anyway. It keeps me young, keeps me thinking. And it works out to the point where if somebody can learn something, like the gentleman tonight on there, I never thought about eating Brussels sprouts.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there you go. And I can guarantee you, my mother's looking down at me and saying, "You're eating Brussels sprouts now?"
You fry them up with bacon. That'll be,
Unbelievable. I don't know.
I see my lovely wife in the comments here because I got that grill being delivered this week. It says, what happens if no one's home to accept it?
Oh boy. Oh boy. This one, my wife just looked at me and she said, "Really? Really?" I said, "Well, here's the deal. Here's what we'll do. Okay. I'll cook. All right. And you can say really. All right. And as I'm eating."
Yeah, there you go.
Unbelievable. So Greg, what's your favorite meal to dabble with?
Oh gosh. I'm more just grilling the meats. I'm not really a multitasker where I got this going on or that going on. Probably one of my favorite bites is chicken thighs on the grill over fire. Got to be directly over the fire. It's got to be one of the best tastes.
Yeah.
Actually, we recently went to a butcher not too far from our house, and they raised chickens and beef, and I got some steaks and chicken and some pork. And I've been trying a lot of their meat, and I'm just blown out of the water how delicious it is. Delicious because it's raised right there. I mean, their chicken thighs are just phenomenal. And I may be doing some sort of collaboration with them soon.
Oh, cool.
That'll come out soon. But I mean, I'm going to get some different cuts of meat from them. But chicken thighs and steak directly over coals. And you mentioned that skirt steak. I did that once in the summer with my lovely wife there. We had kind of a date night and we're grilling some stuff. And man, is that ever a tasty steak?
Oh, yeah. I mean, the fattier, the better.
Oh, yeah.
See, you hit the key word there for me was cooking over the open fire. That is an art. Okay. First couple times when you do it, okay, the dog won't even need it.
Yeah.
After you're done burning it. But you get that technique down, where to put it, where to move it around. That's why I was saying. That's why I brought up that guy with the oven, the way he
Right.
cooks different things and moves it around. And I mean, it just comes out perfect. There again, you got to play. You got to play with your food. You got to play with that. But just for anybody, just to start a fire and then throw protein on there.
Right.
Well, you got to know what you're doing.
It was a big learning curve because, you know, once the meats start to render, juices are falling. Juices fall, it makes fire. So, yeah.
The indirect fire. When I used to live in Texas, and it was a place that we used to go to. It was actually a cattle ranch, and once a year, these gentlemen would get together, and I can't remember what they called it, but they would have a big barn fire going. And then they'd have these metal rods that would actually go into the ground. And then they would wire, like a half a steer to it. And these things, he would turn it every once in a while. He would turn it and turn it and turn it. Now it was quite a few feet away from the fire, but that big fire was intense. There was nothing better than that. And they'd cut you up a hunk and stuff like that. It was great. It was fantastic. You don't see that stuff too much anymore. Really don't.
Yeah. We have a local barbecue group in my area, and once a year they all get together. Everybody brings their pits, and they decide who's going to cook what. And so last year I went, and this one guy had a pig all slung up over an open fire like that, on a spit. Fire was here. It was, you just don't see things like that every day.
No, I mean, and the art of it itself, I also lived in North Carolina. We used to do a lot of pig pickings. Put the pig on this. We had it looked like an old oil drum, like 150 gallon oil drum from outside.
Right.
Well, this guy cleaned this thing up and put it in. Half was gas and half was wood. Okay, and we would throw this pig out on there. Everybody chipped in for it. And what was intriguing, all right, was no plates. Most people brought their own forks. They would get up, they would get a couple forkfuls, okay, and they'd eat this and that, and then move on. Go down, and but for the pig, no plates, just their forks. That was amazing to me, and I'm saying, wow, different cultures and how people do things and stuff.
Right.
That's what I like about it. And getting back to the soups, a simple beef stew. All right, you can't get any better.
Mm-hmm.
It just does not get any better. And different sauces and stuff. That's what I did in the restaurant. I used to make all the sauces for these things, so I have quite a crazy bunch of ideas in my head. And I just try to put them all together. But making a soup from scratch, that's the ticket right there. Too many people are easy to open a can and do it that way, or a box, a powder, or whatever. Make your own stocks, man. Make your own stocks.
Yep. There's no comparison. I remember taking bones from a prime rib roast that we did, and then I got some bone neck or beef neck from the local butcher. I seen that in the display because I was looking for more bones to throw in there, and I rendered that all down. Man, did that make a good broth?
Yeah. I mean, and then after a while, see, I found this place, Winco, and they have everything there. Beef bones. They have goat. They have lamb. Tripe, it goes right down the line there. All the stuff that you don't see in any other supermarkets, I guess. And it really was intriguing, and the prices are so much cheaper. So I got a bag of bones. Okay, my wife looked when I got home. She looked at me like I had 9 heads. What in the hell are you gonna do with that? With the big marrow in there and stuff. It's so good for you. I mean,
Oh yeah.
And all you do is just boil it down, and
One time
add
I
some
bought
spices.
a whole sirloin roast, I think they call it. This thing was just huge. And I figured, well, I'll look online. I'll figure out how to butcher it up. And, of course, I'm trying to find the sirloin steak and then like rotating this thing around. I did what I could. Got
Yep.
some steaks out of it, but whatever I couldn't make a steak, I'd cube it up and make stew beef.
Yeah.
Damn, was that good stew beef?
Yeah.
What
I
a
mean,
good mistake that was.
what I'll do is I'll buy a shoulder. I'll buy a beef shoulder, okay, which you can hammer nails with. I mean, that's how tough the meat is.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'll cut out a couple steaks because you'll get a London broil out of that. London broil is just a name. It's not a cut. It's nothing.
Right.
It's just something they come up with to sell tough meat, get a little bit more money for it. And back in the 70s and stuff, everybody that had a grill, gas grill, okay, oh, come on over. I got a London broil marinating. No, thank you. And then you'd have to cut it real razor thin, to make it thin. Anyway, what I did was that by mistake, I cubed this thing up and I didn't mark it and put it in the freezer. Well, a month or so goes by. Okay. Look in the freezer. What am I going to do? I see, I feel like making some burnt ends. Oh, look, there's cubed meat here. But it was the shoulder meat.
Yeah.
Once thawed it out, took it out of the cryovac, and I went, oh God, this is going to be horrible. Well, I have an electric smoker. Right. I put it in an electric smoker with a little apple wood, and I coated it with I made up my own rub for it, a little on the hot side. And I let that joker go for maybe 4.5, 5 hours because it cubed it up kind of small.
Yeah.
Greg, I got to tell you something. We were getting down to the last piece. Me and my wife were looking at each other. Who's going to get it? It was fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a lot of tough cuts of meat that you can use. I mean, people say, oh, there's prices and stuff. Calm down. Relax. Okay. Yeah. There's a way around that. You don't have to eat grass-fed ribeyes all the time.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
You don't have to eat ribeyes all the time. You can buy the other cheaper cuts of meat and you cook them right. You'll have no problems with it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I mean, pork belly is probably one of the cheapest things out there. But when you cook it right, it's probably one of the most delicious bites. When you render that fat correctly and you season that right, it is delicious.
So what I do with that is I'll take that rendered fat, okay, and I'll strain it, and I will put it into a jar, and I'll put it into the refrigerator. Then I'll take it back out again, all right? If I'm making another pork belly or whatever, or some other pork, this and that, I'll also strain that, put that into that same jar. And then when I have time, I'll take that pork lard now.
Right.
I'll take that, put it back into the pot again, and just slowly cook. Slowly cook it, strain it again, okay? Cool it off, and that's what I cook with. That's what I saute stuff with. Or if I'm going to deep fry, shallow deep fry something, right, I'll use that pork lard. Do the same thing.
A lot better than vegetable oil.
Exactly. Do the same thing with the brisket and stuff like that. Any kind of beef or beef fat, I do the same thing. So, because right now, olive oil and stuff is through the roof.
Yeah. Yeah.
On the other channel, the keto channel, I use a lot of, like you see, a lot of butter, a lot of olive oil, and also avocado oil. Avocado oil for 32 ounces was almost $1 an ounce, $32. So I'm backing away from that.
Yeah.
Make my own tallow. That's all.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. For frying and stuff, it's the best thing.
Yeah. Exactly.
Probably, I was thinking the pork belly. You must have made a porchetta before.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably one of my most delicious roasts right there because you get that flavor right through it.
Man, and there's a lot of people who turn around and say, pork is no good for you. You're gonna have to prove that to me.
I did a porchetta before, and I sliced it up and I made sandwiches with some coleslaw and barbecue sauce. And I brought all these sandwiches to work, and I shared it with all my coworkers, and they were blown away. What is this? I've never had this before. Like, you know, it's
Yeah.
that delicious.
Yeah. I don't know if you like mushrooms or not.
Yep.
But I take the portobello, the big ones,
Oh yeah, yeah.
take the stem off, okay, and I'll trim up the fins inside, take that out, put that in the oven for a little bit with a little bit of olive oil, and then I'll take the pork belly that I already cooked. All right. I'll run that through my processor, but rough chop it.
Okay.
Put that on the bottom of the mushroom, okay, and then I'll add like little baby rays or something to it, and then I'll add jack cheese, pepper jack.
Right.
Put that over the top of it and put that in under the broiler. Woo!
Oh, that sounds delicious.
It's off the charts. So
yeah.
Yep, the bacon fat.
Comment here. Marcelo Pilo. I do the same with bacon fat and use it for cooks, even for scrambled eggs. Oh yeah,
exactly.
Scrambled eggs is just beautiful in bacon fat.
When I was a kid, my mom always had a coffee can on by the stove with the bacon fat in it.
Yeah,
and left it out the whole bit. And this is what I'm saying. We're getting away from that. We're getting away from people cooking using old techniques, using old spices and stuff. I started on the keto channel. I'm using different spices, older spices, but I'm making teas out of them.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so like fennel. I'll take fennel, star anise, and a little bit of cinnamon. Boil the water. I have a strainer, and I'll pour the hot water over the strainer, and then put that strainer in to the pot again, and just let that steep a little bit, and then I will strain it again, let it cool, and we got the quart jars, and I'll take that and put that into the refrigerator. So if I want a quick tea or something like that, I just pour it in there and microwave the rest of it. But drinking it cold, it's fantastic.
What a different flavor. You drink it cold or hot.
Yeah. No sugars, no nothing like that. It's great refreshment.
Yeah. But that sounds good. To me, even with meat, I find when meat gets cold, like the next day, that's when you really pick out all the flavors.
Exactly. Exactly. We used to take
cold ribs or chicken, or
We used to take the prime rib that was left, okay, and I would take it off the bone, and then I would put it on the meat slicer, and I'd slice that thing super, super thin.
Yeah.
And then lay that on a plate, okay, and then in the center, I would make a what's this here sauce, and what the horseradish.
Oh yeah.
Mix that together and just put that. That was cold. I mean, that was a big one, big lunchtime seller. I mean.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds delicious together.
Yeah, we got to get back. We got to get back to that. I mean, it's a sin. It really is. What's going on. Now, don't get me wrong. Fast food's fine, for some people and stuff like that. But in the long run, it snuck up and hit me in the head like a hammer. Type 2 diabetes, bladder cancer, and all this different stuff from shoving my face in with stuff that my body couldn't handle anymore. And then from the treatments, I wound up with type 2 diabetes. So, getting back, I always tell my grandson, step out of the circle and see what's going on. Okay, then you can understand where you need to go and what you need to do. But just staying with, the fast foods and the French fries and all that stuff, you can get away with that for a while. But after a while, it's going to come back to haunt you. It really is.
Well, I think your incentive to keep going is you just feel better when you eat better.
Greg, I can. When I said before, I'll make my homemade pastas and stuff like that, and I'll try a little bit of it. A couple hours later, joint pain. Oh, my arm, my knees, and stuff like that. it's actually true. I mean, I'm walking, living proof of that. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
But I let people have their own opinions. I don't argue with nobody. But the keto channel is how I do it, what I do, and I'm not asking anybody to join me doing it. I'm just saying, cook this food, and you won't have any problems with high carbs or high sugars.
Yeah.
Plain and simple.
No, it's a great message, and it's great that you're sharing it with everyone. And yeah, I just love your content. Okay, so I'll probably wrap it up here, Tom. I don't want to keep you all night. I really appreciate you joining me tonight. Nice to talk face to face. I know
Yes, it is.
we chat in each other's comments here and there in our videos, but no, nice to do this once in a while, and I appreciate you joining me tonight.
And I appreciate you for asking. I really do. I love watching your channel. I love what you do, and it's good. It's good for other people to see that. Greg, and I keep telling you, I told you this the last time. The best video I think you ever made, in my eyes, was, all right, you put something on a grill, on the smoker, all right, and you got your lawnmower out.
No,
you cut all the grass, move things around, you did the whole thing. That to me was fantastic. I told my wife, she got to watch this. I said, this is crazy. I said, he comes out rather than sitting there.
My grass is getting long here, so maybe I got one coming up here.
There you go. Unbelievable. Too funny.
Thank you again for joining me, and yeah, well, I'll put links to your channels there in the description. I want everyone to check you out, because I enjoy your content. So I imagine people that follow me are also gonna enjoy your content. So it's good stuff.
I appreciate it, but thank you so much. And I will be sending you a email in a little while about what we were talking about.
Okay, sounds good. I appreciate that.
Okay, thank you, everybody. Take care, chat. Thanks, Greg.
Okay. Bye.